You've gone out, you've talked to some potential customers, you've looked at the market, the landscape, you've figured out what you believe is the opportunity and the kind of product you need to go and build. How long did it take to build that 1.0 version of, or the MVP, I guess, of Wingman?
So we actually, started actually writing code in May of 2018. And we had our first paying customer for the product in October of 2018. And, in between, we, of course, were still kind of had some working versions of the product. But yeah, that was the timeline. 5 months.
So 5 months to build the product and get that first paying customer.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds great. You ship the product, you already got one customer, you get excited and you're like, wow, we're going to be closing more and more of these deals. But from what I understand, it wasn't that straightforward. When you talked to a lot of potential customers and you didn't close any sales. So tell us about
that. Yeah, so I think the first thing was, we got an early customer, and that was of course exciting, and we managed to sign a couple more customers after that. These were all customers, from our network, right? So these were not customers who we did not know, and therefore, these were really useful customers for as co-building partners, and for giving us early product feedback, etc. But what we wanted to do was to, of course, and you need to do that, is make sure that you actually also reach out to customers who are buying the product for the sake of the product and don't necessarily know you. I think the first challenge that we hit was, even with these friendly customers that we had early on, they were not using the product the way we would expect them to, right? So we were hitting the same roadblocks in terms of product usage. And that was baffling, but I think that was also our own lesson in understanding that what people say they would do and what they actually do is different. And so we had to kind of go and really sit down, understand what their workflows look like, tweak the product, understand what is the first wow moment we could deliver them, and how do you make that repeatable, etc. So there was some work required there. The second thing we did was, like I said, we kind of went and spoke to people who were using the competitors' products and understood, what were the challenges they were facing. Was it a product issue, or was it just setting the right expectations? And then what we did was, once we felt we were ready to kind of scale up, we, at that point, we launched a dramatically new feature for the product, which was this whole idea of being able to give real-time feedback to salespeople while they were on sales calls. And we felt that was, going to hit the nail on the head. That was going to allow people to actually coach without being there. And we were, ready to kind of take it to the market. So we got a sales consultant to help us, accelerate that process of reaching out to new customers. And that person set up, great meetings for us. He set up 40 meetings with our ICP companies, and we sold exactly 0 to those 40 customers, and we were like, something's not right. And that was really, really tough, because we felt at that point, we had a good product, we had a real differentiation, and we were talking to the people that we wanted to be selling to. And so that was the point where we were like, there's something that we need to go back and think about. And I think what we realized at that point is, what the product does, right? And what the promise is. Sometimes as founders, we tend to oversell the promise as well. But what we don't account for is, how the customer is thinking about it in terms of their implementation cost or effort required to get value out of it. So that was the challenge that we were facing in getting people to, adopt this new real-time feedback mechanism. And so, once that became clear to us, we were able to kind of go and make changes to say, how do we make this easier and quicker to get value out of?